Put it. All right, guys, check this out. We always get excited about mail, but this is very special mail. This is from our friends over at the King of Random, which is one of our favorite YouTube channels. If you haven't checked them out, we'll put a card up here. You can check out their awesome channel. But we got a surprise today. What do you say? You pop it open? Whoa. Oh. Yes. Oh my gosh, there's body parts.
Body parts. Well, this is around Halloween, so it's a suitable time for something like this to come. But
this is a giveaway right here.
Telltale sign of what's to come.
Is that the Nimbus 2000?
Nimbus 2000.
That's the new model.
they're definitely sure now.
I think Harry's supposed to wear this one.
So what we got today is we're doing a collaboration with our friends over at the King of Random. This time, they wanted to make an actual flying RC Harry Potter. Now they said that they could build the Harry Potter part and it was up to us to try to make it fly. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna assemble what they have here and kind of assess it from an aerodynamic perspective.
So here's the reality check is we have less than 1 week to go from pieces of body parts that look like Harry Potter to a flying Harry Potter. So we gotta make a plan quick and make it happen.
What do you say we start putting stuff together and see what we're working with here?
Guys, we got another box to open.
We're so excited about parts of Harry Potter that we forgot about this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is very reminiscent of the past.
He's freaky. He is kind of creepy. Yes, it is.
This is a Dementor.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, we're definitely piecing together what they're thinking. They did a great job capturing like a 12-year-old Harry Potter.
The paint is really, really well done.
Beautiful.
Definitely check out the King Random's video on how they made this Harry Potter. It's pretty cool. They're like the kings of random DIY projects, all the way from building it, designing it, to painting it. The painting techniques on this is awesome. So make sure you check that out. And if you haven't seen their channel, check the whole channel out. They have tons, hundreds, if not thousands of awesome DIY videos.
Now here's the reality here is we only have one amazing creation from our friends at the King of Random. We don't want to just start hacking and cutting. That's what I'm thinking is we have plenty of foam board like what they built with.
Yeah.
I think we trace out these pieces and we kind of do what we typically do. We do a glide test. We build something, start changing out the cape and try to get it to glide. And then once we get it within 80%, then we can go ahead and take those changes over to the real Harry Potter here and then see if it'll fly.
Definitely. So I know it looks like Harry Potter, but it's actually not that unreasonable of an airframe. So the way it's gonna work is this cape is gonna be off the back and this is gonna end up being the wing. Now, I do have my reservations about the size of this in comparison to Harry. We might need to accentuate this and make it a little bit wider, but that's what the glide test will help us. Now, cool thing about this is they use the same foam board that we make all of our airplanes. If you guys are new to the channel, we have over 60 designs of DIY airplane kits that you can buy and put them together using our build videos. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take all these pieces, lay them out flat on the floor, and I'm gonna take one picture of them. The reason I'm all the way up here on the ladder is because you don't wanna use a wide angle lens, which I could on this phone. Typically the wider angle the lens, the more it kind of distorts the image, especially towards the edges of the image itself. So I actually got up on here, I was able to use a telephoto lens and hopefully it'll keep the parts as minimal distortion as possible. I'm gonna transfer that onto my computer and I am personally going to trace them out using Adobe Illustrator. And because they're all in the same picture, the scale of each individual parts will be correct relative to each other. But also if it works well, you guys will have the opportunity to build your own Harry Potter, which is super cool.
So what's going on? If you're like Harry and you're getting older and you're not doing as many movies because your hair's thinning out, 2 out of every 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time that they're 35, right? So with today's advancements in science and by the help of our sponsor of today's episode, which is Keeps, you can actually keep the hair on your head by using Keeps' proven treatment method that can combat the symptoms of hair loss. And I tell you what, I don't need it because I got a full head of hair, but my dude Matt, man, he is having issues. So Keeps has revolutionized the way that men are treated for hair loss. You used to have to go to the doctor's office for your hair loss prescription. Now thanks to Keeps, you can actually visit the doctor online, get your medication delivered straight to your home, so you don't have to go wait in waiting rooms and no more pharmacy checkout lines. You can get a doctor that's attentive to your needs. You get discreet drug delivery, all from the privacy and discretion of your own home. So saving hair on top of your head is all about prevention. Keeps treatments actually work. They're up to 90% effective at reducing and stopping further hair loss. So the sooner you start using Keeps on the tippy top of your head, the more hair you're actually gonna save. So make sure you act fast because many men are even experiencing hair regrowth with Keeps treatments. So if you're like me, or anyone else for that matter, when you're buying products online, you go straight to reviews, right? So the crazy thing about Keeps is that they have more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors, and nearly 100,000 men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention medication. So one of the coolest things about Keeps treatments is that they start at just $10 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can actually get your first order for 50% off. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss for yourself, go to keeps.com/flight-test to get 50% off your first order. That's keeps.com/flight-test. If you want to be like Harry and stay hairy, check out those links below. Let's go see what Harry's got going on the top of his head.
What we did is we took the drawings that Alex made and we shrunk them down, because if you can make a small version of whatever you want to make fly good, whenever you enlarge it, it only gets better. So we made this a more manageable size so we can glide it in our room. We got all the pieces, we're going to assemble it. The nice thing is if we can get it here and this is level, we can use this as a lifting surface if we need to. Just see how he glides. So Alex did something really cool here. He actually made the cape bigger than the one that came with this. Good reason is we can always trim back more and more to the point where lift is no longer given. But we can start with a bigger surface, which will help us see the tendencies and what needs to be changed. We start with them bigger and then start trimming them down lower and lower and lower until it gets unstable. If you just scale the plane up to the size from scale drawings, you notice the tails will be much smaller, and that oftentimes causes really bad flight characteristics.
So now basically, as we do in a lot of our videos, we have to figure out what's called the center of gravity. And basically it is the point where the plane balances equally to the point where when it takes flight, it's got a level of equilibrium, so it flies straight, not too tail heavy, not too nose heavy.
A lot of times people think balance is in the center, just like if you're gonna balance this razor blade, you'd balance it in the center. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about where the center of pressure is. Thing is like, we don't really know how this is gonna behave, whether we need additional wing on it or what, so.
So basically on a traditional wing and tail style airplane, finding the CG is relatively easy. It normally is in like the first 25 to 1/3 of the wing, depending on the type of wing that you have. So on a conventional plane, if you're scratch building or trying to design your own, it's pretty easy. You can generally gauge. But when we have a weird wing on a weird Harry Potter, it's gonna be a little bit more tricky, and you basically just figure it out by trial and error. You take a good guess, you throw it, you see what it does, and you make adjustments accordingly.
That's what we're gonna do now. I think it's gonna nose down, so be ready for it.
Whew, don't know how I caught that.
All right, well, most likely what's happening is the broom's kind of leading it straight here, but also it seems like if we had some reflex back here and we had the ability to make it pitch up a little bit, then we could get more nose weight, which would give it more stability. A little bit of reflex right there. So what that's gonna do, it's gonna go ahead and kind of give an angle. If you ever throw something just totally flat, it doesn't fly at all. You need reflex in this case on especially flying wings. So this is gonna give a little bit of angle. Now we can start putting some weight here. We're up in the front. All right, so we got a little reflex here, a little bit of nose weight. Ready? I don't know how you can toss this thing.
Ooh, hey,
Promising.
that was better. Oh man, that's 100% better.
Paper
cut city. So yeah, when foam is laser cut, it becomes a weapon.
I think the nose weight's almost too much. You want to move it back now? Alright, cool.
Dude, that's pretty solid right there.
Where's he bouncing at? I mean, yeah. Jeremy, you were saying something, how we got our posture wrong with Harry, and I think that may actually solve a lot of problems that we're having.
I'm the resident movie expert here. The way Harry rides is more like low on the broom, so his head's pretty close, and the back has these little stirrups that come down, so his feet are always in the same position.
So basically his chest is kind of in line with this here, right?
Right, so that would bring the wing a little bit more forward, his feet a little more back, so we might have a little more vertical stability behind the center of gravity.
Really cool thing on top of that too, his arms are actually gonna brace the front of the broom a lot better too.
Yeah.
So what do you say we cut another one, and we kind of have an idea of this, and we'll just keep on moving it. Cut another Harry Potter.
All right, another Harry coming up hot.
All right, so we got Harry a little more streamlined down the broom, and we got some weight on there. It's time to chuck
I
it.
just have to say, dude, that looks way better than mine. My Harry looked like he was just having a little trouble going potty or something. All right. Anyways, check one test.
All right, you ready?
Whoa!
That's not bad.
Had some roll rate to
And
it.
in all fairness, like if you sight down this is kind of warped, so.
Gonna give it the corkscrew. Harry can do barrel rolls. Dang, that's actually pretty good.
Through a curve.
Because I was inverted, sir.
Yeah, dude, that's our CG.
Yeah, this is responsible.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull some measurements off of it, enlarge it. Our next step here is to try to make it fly somewhat RC before we go ahead and go over. A couple things I'm thinking is looking at here, this is a cape, but not when you see it this way.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we play with some of these lines because capes kind of float down, you know, like Superman and everything. I think we play with some of these lines and curl them down for vertical stability.
I like it.
And there's a really cool thing that we're gonna try, and if it works, I'll tell you all about it with how you can angle the fins to give you directional stability. Harry Potter changed colors now. New maker foam. As I mentioned earlier here, this guy was cool, but from the side, it just looked like a plate. You know, it was flat. I went ahead and enlarged it and pushed it out, but also to allow for 2 motors to go here and here to kind of be tucked up out of the way.
Nice. So Harry has shoulder blades. There's going to be a motor here and a motor here. Harry's going to have shoulder
I wasn't
blades.
sure what you're talking about. Shoulder blades.
I wasn't either.
And then what we'll do is we'll take Harry Potter's cape and we'll fold that down, either at 90 or slightly kicked. One thing you can't really see is we can actually change the angles to kick this out just slightly. What's going to happen is if this rotates this way, it's going to be more air pressure here, less here from that angle, and it'll direction it out. It's going to cause it to fly slower, but frankly, that's what we want. Again, the end goal is if this actually flies good, we can give you guys the patterns to make it fly yourself or have something awesome hanging in your room. So thank you, King of Random, and this is going to be fun.
Now you notice that Josh is building with thick white foam right now. We are happy to let you know that our new white water resistant maker foam is on its way to our distribution facility. So it is going to be available for purchase on our website very soon if it's not already up. This foam is amazing to work with, so go check it out.
Now that the control surfaces are done, I'm ready for the next step, which is installing the electronics, getting the differential thrust hooked up. I'm half tempted to fly it just as we see right here to see how she flies and handles before we put Harry Potter on it. Right now we have the swirly concoction of just wind soup, and it's coming every which direction. We're trying to shade beside the trees.
What's the speed of the wind right now?
20 gusting 28, and we're gonna fly a little tiny flat thing.
All right, you ready? I'm gonna let it go.
All right, here we go.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's scary. Yeah, she does rolls. Hair rolls loose for days.
Dude, Harry's gonna have fun with
Hair,
this.
well, if you've seen the movie, the Nimbus 2000 or whatever, it's pretty maneuverable.
They actually sent us the Firebolt.
The firebolt.
We have an awesome indoor flyer just with his cloak.
Yeah, it flies great.
All right,
sick,
well,
dude.
well, it's not about making the cloak fly, it's about making Harry fly. We
Yeah.
got our test done. Now, a couple things are gonna change here. We know that the CG on the cloak is responsible. When we put Harry on it, what's gonna happen now is we're gonna have the different effects from his body and the broom. We're gonna have different effects from the lower CG, but at least we know now that this works. So now let's go ahead and put Harry on.
So I'm looking at the imagery from the movie, and Harry's cloak, he's got sleeves and everything, so it's almost robish, and it's coming off of his back, kind of mid-back. So what that's gonna enable us to do is make this be able to come off a little lower on his back, so more rigidity with how it's going together.
Yes, dude.
All right, dude, look at
This
that
is
thing.
where it's at. Look at Harry, dude, his cloak. He's ready to fly, dude. He's ready to go play some Quidditch.
So Josh, how is Harry on the bottom going to change the characteristics?
I think this will only help it track better. I'm nothing but optimistic now. You ready? Ready.
Oh boy.
Whoa!
All right, she likes an upside down more. I can't. Whoa!
Harry! Harry Potter!
All right, we got some problems.
His broomstick's bent.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, we gotta figure this out. We need weight on the bottom of it to like tell it which way to go. That was pretty unreal. We didn't have hardly any weight low on this. I think something was just rolling me upside down, and once it went upside down, she's like, okay, we're cool. I partially think like get a bunch of weight, shove them right under the CG right here.
Yeah.
That will honestly probably be where the battery is. Now, here's the other thing too, is this battery is really on one side, so
Not helping.
we can always drop him down.
Yeah, and put him right there.
All right, you ready?
Good luck.
That's a little better.
No, he flipped it. He loves being upside
Oh, there he goes! Whoa!
Oh, right on the head.
So something, dude, I am boggled. Like, she goes upside down, she's like, we're cool! She goes the other way, but it was better. Oh, man.
We're put it where the rock is.
Go, Harry!
Dude! Ah!
His head! He broke his head!
We're like, yes, yes! There goes his head!
His neck snapped mid-flight.
It didn't really?
He was just like flying along, just like,
Rip off his head, throw him again!
He's got the scar. Harry Potter.
not in the right place, but it looks
Hey, the boy who lived.
All right, instead of nearly headless Nick, we have headless Harry.
Yes.
Oh, now I just feel weird.
Look at that.
Get up in the air. Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's like,
It's scary, man.
So I'll tell you, the wind is real up there. But
Look at him.
Yes, he's flying.
Can we just superimpose a head into him?
That was the problem. Harry had his head in the wrong place the whole time. Look at him go. That looks
Dude,
awesome.
differential thrust is definitely a lifesaver here, and getting that battery and that weight as low as possible, and also maybe waiting for a calmer day.
Oh!
Yeah, Harry does flips and tricks.
All right, well, we still haven't resolved the fact that, like, what do we do?
With his head.
How does she fly inverted?
It does not fly like an airplane. It flies
Like a nutball?
like a headless dude. Yeah, but you know what? We know what we need to do. All right, I'm gonna take him downwind here.
Where's it going?
He doesn't want to listen.
What is it doing?
I don't know, man.
That's that black magic, dude. That
Get
dark
over
magic.
there.
I'm like trying to dodge it. Like,
I've been trying to steer for the last 30 seconds. All right, big olive on.
What a
Here,
great
loop.
This is one of the best things I've ever seen. She slows down
Well,
quite
it
nice.
flies better than the battleship. You know, it sounds like a victory, but we're flying it without a broom and without a head.
Yeah.
There's no way we're gonna get away with that.
Those are crucial parts to Harry
I
Potter.
mean, I'd say at this point we have enough to go off of where we can go to the big one, but we still have the Dementor to fly, and I think you're building the little ball with wings.
yeah,
right?
golden snitch, which we're actually.
Ball with wings.
Snitch. It's a ball with wings. Let's just face it.
With our broom bending issues, I decided to make a reinforced broom with a carbon fiber rod. So I took their old broom handle and I'm cutting out the same shape, inserting the carbon fiber rod into the center of it. Now comes the hard part. My thought is, if I can very carefully peel this amazing paint job that the King of Random did, because foam board is paper sandwiched with foam, if I can pull that paper off without tearing it, I can just glue the paper over the face of this, and then all I have to do is paint the edges and I'm good. So let's hope this goes well. Whew, that was nerve-wracking, and there was a couple of close calls there, but one side done, one to go. When you're peeling paper off a foam board, the most common place where it'll start to tear is the edge as the paper is rolled over the edge. So I took a razor blade along the edge to get it started so that it would start separating, and from there, it went pretty well. Side 2 done. I did get a little tear starting, but I was able to save it in time, and success. Now it's just a matter of gluing the painted paper onto the face of the new broomstick and then painting the edges to finish it off. Then I gotta put Harry back together again, and I'm going to reinforce his head. I've gotta cut out another piece of foam, so I double up his face, then peel the painted face off and stick it on the new face, sandwiching the paint stir together for support. Now all that's left is putting his cloak on.
All right, so I'm in charge of making the golden snitch. So the first thing I gotta do is I go into Fusion 360. We use Fusion 360 all the time to make all our 3D rendering. So if you're looking to get into 3D design, we recommend Fusion 360. Make sure to check that out below. Now I'm taking my file over to the laser, and I'm gonna cut my frame out of clear acrylic. The reason I use clear acrylic is that way you won't see any of the frame, you'll just see the golden snitch floating in midair. Next up, I'm gonna install our red gremlin motors, and our red gremlin motors actually come in our Gremlin Power Pack V2 kit. If you guys don't know what our gremlin is, it's just a micro-sized racing drone that you can have a lot of fun and enjoyment inside and out. So I found this golden snitch file on Thingiverse. I'm gonna print this out, make a couple modifications, and then install it on my frame. All right, so we got our golden snitch all put together. It flies, it's pretty awesome. I opted out not to put the wings on it. The reason being, once these propellers are spinning, it kind of looks like wings anyways, and I don't want to chop up the snitch's wings. I think, Harry, Looks pretty good.
I'm gonna take this Dementor and see what I can do to make it fly. Now this isn't our first attempt at making something like this fly. Way back in the very early days of Flite Test, we made a thing called the Cool Ghoul. Josh did an awesome job flying it. We even flew it over some parking lots and spooked some of the locals. So I'm gonna take a very similar approach. It's basically, again, a nutball style design, very similar to what we did with Harry. I'm gonna make a cloak looking kind of airframe for the Dementor, mount him on the front and a little bit down, lowering that center of gravity. And we're gonna use 2 Power Pack B motors to power it. Should have more than enough power, and ideally, it should be a somewhat stable Dementor. We got a break in the weather in this beautiful fall Ohio weather, so there's only one thing left to do. Let's go out and do some flying.
One thing you can do before we fly is subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'd love to have you as a part of the Flite Test family, and you get to watch us try to fly something every single week.
All right, everybody's getting their magical crafts ready to fly. We're putting a Lumineer 2250 4-cell in Harry. We're putting the same battery in our Dementor here, which Alex is gonna be flying. And Matt has this beautiful golden snitch that he's getting ready to put in the air. I'm a little concerned that we're gonna have success here. The one thing that makes me feel more hopeful about this is we changed the edge of the cloak design. So instead of going vertically down, we're actually angling up to create what's called a polyhedral. And that has self-correcting tendencies. It makes the plane or Harry fly more stable. So Josh, what do you think?
So last time we flew this, we didn't have the most success. I'm pretty nervous because we do still have wind. Reinforcing those booms, I think we're gonna have a lot better luck.
So we can crash now.
Yeah. Are we ready?
Fire, Harry.
Yes! There he goes!
Look at that.
Is he stable?
As much as, yeah, kinda.
Looks
He
good.
flies amazing. Check this out. We can make this repeatable for people. Look at that.
Harry Potter's flying, dude. That looks so cool. That's hilarious.
That is awesome.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get that snitch
Oh
up.
my gosh.
There he is. The golden snitch.
Golden snitch is in the air. Beautiful.
Oh my
Beautiful.
Matt, you're so far away.
Yeah, Matt, you gotta slow down, man. You're too fast. You're too fast of a snitch.
Hey, there's the snitch
There's
with
the
Harry.
snitch. I got him.
Look at that, so cool. He's chasing the snitch.
The snitch is trying to keep up versus getting chased though. So
Well, I'm playing chase quad with the snitch.
get in front there. Let's see if I
there
can
we
chase
go.
you. Okay, now we got you.
Huge shout out to the King of Random
Yes.
for helping us with this project, but also the awesome RC community out there. There's been a lot of people who have kind of done designs similar to this over the years, and it's kind of what we based this Harry Potter design
Yes.
off of, and it's pretty amazing.
A super important thing, and you guys will actually see this in our FT STEM program, we always encourage people to do research first. With that research comes a plan, with that plan comes execution. We do that same model here to make these crazy designs work. Our research brought up a lot of really great designs from flying witches and stuff, so that was the source of our inspiration to bring this to success. And it flies amazing. If someone does want to build a Harry Potter, FliteTest.com is a great source for our forums. I think what we'll do is we'll make an article with the plans and like build pictures, and that way people can sign up, and then when it comes out, they can get a notification that it's out, because I want to see a lot of these suckers fly. This is amazing.
This is awesome.
All right, Dementor. This Dementor's crazy.
Whoa! Whoa! What's going on with that?
Oh my
Dementor?
gosh, did that just buzz my head?
That just buzzed our
I can't
heads.
see anything.
Nose weight. Nose weight.
Nose weight. The Dementor almost sucked all of our
Yeah,
souls
put it on the
out.
nose, man.
Oh my gosh, I was so committed to not killing anybody.
Thank you for that.
I felt like I was fighting the Dementor. Here we go.
How is it?
Better.
Better. All right. How's he doing, bud?
I'm coming after you.
Ah, okay.
Oh, he's upside down.
Wow, he is a handful.
Dude, Josh's over here flying Harry like it's nobody's business, and this Dementor's like, I can't
I feel like maybe a little more tail weight could help,
Whoa!
but he does look like a Dementor.
He does.
Flying like a
He
Dementor,
has a
kind of all
personality
over the
issue,
place.
man.
Oh man, I definitely wouldn't want to meet him in a dark
Well,
alley.
Alex, in all credit, man, you did a great job because you had much less time to tweak this thing than I did with Harry. And it's doing much better now. It flies amazing.
Harry's a he.
So locked in.
Yeah, I call every airplane she, and now, you know, I have a problem with that. Here you go. You realize we're a bunch of big kids making make-believe, right? I mean, that's what this is. Whoa!
Ah,
Get him, Alex.
I'm gonna try to hit you, dude.
Things just got real.
Dementor coming in hot.
Oh, don't come near us. No, thank you. What's going on out?
He's crazy.
He's got a mind of his own.
Expecto Patronum!
He occasionally just takes a mind of his own.
I want to shoot the river.
Oh, Harry Potter on the river run.
Harry Potter getting away from the Dementor, shoot the
run.
river.
Look how good he looks. Josh Fixler.
Can you do a barrel roll?
Let's do a barrel roll. Ready? Whoa! There it is.
What about a loop?
Here, let's.
Oh, what is
There it is.
landing?
There it is. All right.
Josh Fixler for the
The one thing about Harry is he doesn't fly very long. His magical powers wear out after about 9 minutes. I wonder if I could tail set him. Ready?
Right on his broomstick.
Oh!
Oh!
Yes! Fantastic!
I won
One
today.
week's time, flying Harry Potter, flying Dementor, flying Snitch.
Huge shout out to King of Random for helping us with this
Yeah.
collab. We love doing projects with them. Let us know if you want to see us do any other collabs with them in the comments down below. And if you want to see more crazy projects, make sure you subscribe because we're doing them all the time. And until next time, see you guys next time.
See you later.
If you want to be like Harry and stay hairy, let's go see what Harry's got going on top of his head.